and subscribe, otherwise I might pay you guys a visit.
Right, it's now official, and if you guys look at my video, 2 videos back, which I uploaded late last night, where I said to you guys that Dillian Whyte was going to have a press conference today to announce a fight, and of course DERECK CHISORA. Why DERECK CHISORA? Well, it's a fight that a lot of people want to see the rematch for. A lot of people said that Dillian Whyte won that fight like me. A lot of people said it was a draw, and a lot of people said that DERECK CHISORA won that rematch. So this fight, this rematch, settles all of that, and of course this will be happening December the 22nd at the O2 Arena, and it will be on Sky Sports box office. So yes, it will be pay-per-view. As I said to you guys before, Dillian Whyte is a pay-per-view star now, no matter how you look at it. And I know there's going to be a lot of people who's unhappy about this fight. A lot of people would prefer to have seen Dillian Whyte headline against Luis Ortiz or Dominic Breazeale or Jarrell Miller. So we can touch on those ones real quick. So Jarrell Miller, he's going to be fighting Bogdan Dinu on November the 17th for the WBA regular world title. Of course, we're still waiting on official confirmation of whether or not that title will be on the line. So that was always never going to happen. And Jarrell Miller was never going to travel, was he? So with Dominic Breazeale, that's the one that I really wanted, because that settles the whole mandatory situation. Dominic Breazeale and Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte beats Dominic Breazeale. He then becomes a WBC official mandatory, which means Wilder can no longer avoid him. That's the one I felt Eddie Hearn should have really made a push on, but didn't happen. And instead, Dominic Breazeale, he's now going to be fighting on the Charlo's undercard against a guy that I've forgotten his damn name. He's not even ranked in the top 50. Luis Ortiz is a fight that a lot of people wanted, and I know a lot of the Wilder fans wanted that one purely because they want Luis Ortiz to beat Dillian Whyte, to keep Dillian Whyte away from Wilder. They want Whyte as far away from Wilder as physically possible. But Wilder said, you know what, if you fight Luis Ortiz and you beat him, then I'll fight you next. Truth of the matter is, we all know that WBC will be calling the mandatory for the WBC, as in Deontay Wilder should be successful against Tyson Fury in December. So no matter what Wilder says, even if Wilder really wanted the Dillian Whyte fight, had he beaten Luis Ortiz, was never going to happen, because the WBC would have overrode it and put him in with Dominic Breazeale. They want their mandatory done. So that's why I wanted Dominic Breazeale, and it wasn't Luis Ortiz. But Luis Ortiz, he said, come fight me on the undercard of Wilder. I mean, because Luis Ortiz, he has one fight left with the PBC, I believe, and so he's going to have to fulfill that one anyway. So that's why he's going to be fighting on that card and not in the headline against Dillian Whyte. But of course, when there was talk about it, I think Eddie Hearn was going to have to pay up whatever contract was left for the PBC with Luis Ortiz. And Luis Ortiz was asking for a whole crap load of money, way more money than what Dillian Whyte would have got for this fight. Okay, so that's, again, one of the reasons why that fight didn't happen. But Chisora versus Whyte is financially a bigger fight for Dillian Whyte. And as I said to you guys before, for me, and it's just my opinion, that I think that Dillian Whyte has earned the right to fight whoever the hell he wants. He really has. What he's done recently, stepping up again in fights that he didn't have to take, and he has done, he's earned the right, especially with a potential fight on April 13th against Anthony Joshua. You know what, he can just do whatever he likes, but he's taken a big money fight, and why shouldn't he? He's prize fighting. You know, us moaning that he's not fighting Luis Ortiz or Dominic Breazeale or whoever, we're not paying his bills as such, are we? So he needs to earn enough money to support his family. This is the perfect fight for that one. And why is this fight happening over all others? Well, because Eddie Hearn wants this one to happen. He didn't want him fighting Dominic Breazeale. He didn't want him fighting Luis Ortiz. He always wanted this fight, because he believes it's going to be another good war, and he believes that this is what's going to earn the most money. And he's probably right as far as the money goes. I know people here on this channel and many other channels on YouTube, whether you guys want to admit it or not, you're hardcore boxing fans, so you know about Luis Ortiz, Dominic Breazeale. The rest of the people who watch boxing, who know Dillian Whyte for being on the undercard of Anthony Joshua, and know DERECK CHISORA for fighting Dillian Whyte on the Anthony Joshua undercard, don't know who the hell Luis Ortiz is, or Dominic Breazeale, or Jarrell Miller. So that fight, while it probably would have sold out anyway, had he fought any of those guys, as far as pay-per-view goes, DERECK CHISORA was always going to be the meal ticket. So yeah, for me, I think that regardless of the fact that DERECK CHISORA is being trained as such. Well, he's being managed by David Haye, but David Haye's overseeing his training and his nutrition to get him into tip-top shape. So a motivated Derek Chisora is always a dangerous Derek Chisora. We've seen that historically for many times. He does turn up unmotivated for many fights for whatever reason. So he's going to be a lot more dangerous in this fight. And for a lot of people who said that Derek Chisora won the last fight, you should really be happy about this fight happening, because you can get to see now whether or not your man is going to beat Dillian Whyte, right? So anyway, I know there's going to be a lot of people unhappy about this one, but this fight's going to do well. It's going to sell well. It's going to sell out, that's for sure. And obviously I'm team body snatcher all day, every day. And now this fight is finally being confirmed. Now I better get Dillian Whyte on the channel, because obviously beforehand, with no fight set, there wasn't really anything to talk about as far as opponents, other than talking about speculation. And I know fighters don't like talking about speculation. They want to talk about what's happening. So now that fight is now confirmed. At some point next week, I'll get Dillian on the channel, and we can talk about why Derek Chisora and why not Luis Ortiz, why not Dominic Brazil or Miller, all these kind of things. But anyway, drop your thoughts below, click that thumbs up, and of course subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.